All right, man, towards the top. Like, share, subscribe to the page. So today I'm gonna be comparing Black Adam versus Black Panther. Which one I think was better out of the two? And yeah, so let's get into it, man. So I seen both of these movies, and I'm just gonna go through how I feel about one, then go through how I feel about the other. So I'm gonna start with the pacing of the movie. Black Panther felt like an adrenaline rush. Like it felt like it grabbed you and then just wouldn't let go. That's the one part I liked about the movie. There was not one boring part in this movie. I think the pacing of this movie was great. Not necessarily the storyline, but the pacing was great. It just kept going and going and going and going. And I appreciated that about Black Adam. Black Panther, I think the beginning of the movie was very heartfelt. Rest in peace to that man. But after that, it was like a plane with no fuel. It just went downhill for me. It was boring. It wasn't a good pacing. Some of the jokes wasn't good. Angela Bassett did her thing. We're going to get to that part in a minute. But so I'm going to go with Black Adam on that. I just think the pacing on what's the name was just all over the place. It wasn't that good. The special effects. Both of these movies had great special effects, but I think that for Black Adam, the fight scenes for me was 10 times better. And it looked better. It didn't look like a bunch of toys on screen. Even though I knew it was CGI, it didn't look like it was CGI. Certain parts looked fantastic. As far as Black Panther goes, some of the CGI was great, but then some of the stuff was like, it looked like a bunch of toys on screen fighting, like a bunch of action figures. It just didn't look right. I think the underwater scene was great. I think that special effects was amazing. But I don't know, for me, it just didn't work. Some of the stuff was okay. So I'm going to get a slight edge to Black Adam when it comes to the special effects. Diverse cast. And I hate to say that because that's just something that just has to be said nowadays. But I hate to say diverse cast. But truth be told, I think Black Panther didn't have that much of a diverse cast. Let's see how many black women are at the forefront of the movie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you might as well say 6, because the other girl is not on screen. There was no black men at the forefront. I mean, M'Baku or whatever his name is, he was only in the movie for like a good 20 minutes. And then Namor was Namor. That's it. Other than that, there was no black lead, no black men. There was no black men besides that one, and he wasn't really in the movie. It was all black women. Now, Black Adam. The Rock is black. Hawkman is black. Then you had Pierce Brosnan, who's white. Then you had a black female character. Then you had another white. I don't know if he was Spanish or Latin or something, but he was something. Well, he might have been white. Then you had Amanda Waller, who's black. It was a more balanced, diverse movie. Very balanced, diverse, and you had some Middle Easterns or whatever. But to me, it just seemed like they went with all girl power in that movie. And I think that was the wrong approach. Storyline. I really didn't like either one of the storylines in these movies. I didn't like either one. I think that Black Adam could have been better with the storyline. I think it could have been a slow burn. It could have paced it out much better than what it was. I think that it was just so rushed to me. They should have really dug deep into his origin from when he was a kid, maybe spent at least a half an hour to almost an hour of him being a kid and figuring out what his powers were or whatever, grew up with him, become a teenager, and he got wrapped up or something. I think it would have been much better. Black Panther, the storyline wasn't good either. I think it's disgusting that they mirrored Chadwick's death with the movie. I think they should have recasted him, period. They should have just recasted the man and went a different direction. Or they should have had him go out as a hero. I think that would have been what's up. So let's say, for example, Namor came and invaded because they needed the vibranium because his mom was dying or whoever. They needed the vibranium to come. And so he came, Wakanda, he found out Wakanda and he came and attacked Wakanda. Chadwick died in the fight between the two. He took some of the vibranium, but Shuri, she takes up the mantle of Black Panther and she goes to find him and they fight. I think that would have been a better story for me if that had happened. That's how I think how it should have happened. Instead of them basically saying he died from some unknown disease and the reason why he dies because he was too stubborn to let people know that he was sick, because if he would have told her earlier, she could have saved his life. I just think that was disgusting that they did something like that, knowing that kind of happened in real life. So no, I'm not feeling that. So I really don't. I think both storylines could have been better. The acting, Angela Bassett, of course, is Angela Bassett. She's always going to steal the show. It is what it is. I can't go no higher than that. I think Angela Bassett stole the show. Now, Viola Davis, she didn't really do too much in this movie. She had a small role and she said what she said. But I can't rival the two because Viola Davis didn't have a moment where she was acting out, you know? But overall, I think The Rock played a good part and his cast played a good part. I didn't like the little boy, just like I didn't like Riri Williams. I think they both were annoying. But I'm gonna have to go with Black Panther on the acting part because of Angela Bassett. All right. And finally, which one could I go with overall? Which one I would recommend? I'm going to recommend Black Adam over Black Panther. And the reason why is because I think that Black Adam is a movie that's not a woke movie. This movie is basically a movie, it's a comic book movie. It's one of those movies you go to and you enjoy. That's what that is. Now, as far as Black Panther, there's a lot of woke undertones. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie. And I think that, to me, what hurt me the most is to see that they would actually not cast a black character, a black supporting character, or a character who is at the forefront instead of some joke of a character like M'Baku. I think he was a joke of a character. I think Black Adam had a great pacing and also had a great cast as far as the two black men. That's where it lost me at. They should have had a black man somewhere in that movie. And not just some guy that's just there because he was in the first one. So I'm going to go with Black Adam on this. I would recommend that. I think that Black Panther, I think that Black Panther has a lot of flaws. I got up out the movies and I went to the bathroom and came back and I felt like it was so long and it was so boring. It was so long. Oh my God, it was so long. And it was so boring. And it was like, I don't like to go off of what people say, and I just like to watch stuff for myself. But I seen some reviews on it, and I said, damn. I just kept saying to myself, I don't know, man. This movie's kind of whack. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of trash. So I'm going to recommend Black Adam over Black Panther. I think Black Adam was the superior movie. The ratings I give it, I'm going to go with Black Adam. I'll give Black Adam a 7 out of 10. I think that it could have been better, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. But it could have been better if the storyline was better. If the storyline on Black Adam was better, Black Adam would have been a 9. Clearly would have been a 9 or 9.5. If the storyline was better. Black Panther gets a 5. And the only reason why it gets a 5 is because half the movie, the best part of the movie was in the beginning, and that's the tribute. Other than that, it was trash. It wasn't good. So I'm going to give that movie a 5. I think the other parts of the movie was okay, but it wasn't nothing that I would say that I would probably go see again or write home about or tell my mother, like, oh, you need to see this. I don't think it was that great. I think that it has highlight moments, but it wasn't that great. So I'm going to go with Black Adam on this one. Torture Talk. Like, share, subscribe. You know what it is.